and welcome to From Market to Table. I'm Sarah Graham and I'm here to prepare some fun holiday treats for you. So I'm going to start off with a really fun recipe that I made with my kids last night. It's quick and easy and it was really delicious as tested by my husband and the rest of us. So this is peppermint hot chocolate on a stick. So let's get it started and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So we're going to start with a half a cup of heavy cream, and I am using an organic one. I like to use organic when it's dairy, whenever I can. And then 3/4 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk. And again, this is a dairy product, so since it's available, I'm using an organic one. There we go. And I just have the flame on about medium high. And then we need a teaspoon of peppermint extract. So since I am cooking over an open flame, I'm turning my flame off to add about a teaspoon of peppermint extract. All right. So I'm just going to stir this a little bit until we're just simmering, so like a low bubbly boil, not like a full rolling boil. So I'm stirring to combine all of my ingredients, and then I'll let it be for a few moments to let it come to that low simmering boil. So when we were making these last night, we felt like this would be a really great teacher's present for around the holidays. It would be a great thing to buy a really pretty Christmas mug or holiday mug and then put a couple of these inside of it and wrap it up. It would be a really inexpensive thing because you can make these for pennies a piece and then buy a really nice mug at the dollar store and have a great gift for teachers. If you're like me and you have multiple teachers to buy for, it's very helpful. So while that is working its way to a low simmer, I'm going to open our chocolate chips. I think I got organic chocolate chips too, yeah. I'm gonna make this a very organic Christmas. So you're gonna put your chocolate chips in the bowl so that they're ready for us to pour our simmering mixture onto. Okay, and I saw our edges boiling here on the side. And it's starting to stick to the pan a little bit, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just gonna check it with my finger. Okay. I'm more familiar with my burners at home, but we're boiling around the outside, so I think we're good. So we're gonna take our hot liquid, and as you can see, that didn't take much time at all, and just pour it over our chocolate chips. And we're going to let that sit for about a minute just to get these chocolate chips starting to melt before we stir it. So while that sits, this is when you could do, which was probably my kids' favorite part last night. We bought the little round peppermint candies, and as you can see, they got like real excited about crushing them up real fine, and just put the peppermint candies in a baggie. And then we got our hammer and just let them crush them in the kitchen. So this was a really fun recipe for the kids to do, because we're gonna add these once we start putting them in the tins. So the recipe called for a silicone mini muffin pan, and I do recommend that because I'll show you, or I'll give you a sneak peek here ahead of time. So this is what our finished product is going to look like. And I didn't have a silicone mini muffin pan, so I thought, oh, it'll be fine if I just use the liners, they won't stick. Because with the silicone one, you can pop them out, push them inside out and pop them out. So I thought, well, it'll be fine if I can just get them out, but the problem is they don't set too hard enough that you can peel the wrapper off like you could like a chocolate candy. So we just made the most of it and just scraped it out as well as we could into our mugs, and then just ended up like dipping the aluminum wrapper into the hot chocolate. So, all right, we should be good. Yep, these are nice and melty now, ready to be combined. So you're just going to stir this up until it's completely mixed. This is really nice if in your house you have people who have like a dairy issue, because you could make these dairy free. But then for the people who want to make their hot chocolate with regular milk, you just heat the individual mugs up in the microwave separately. So like last night we heated up a couple mugs of regular milk and they did theirs. And then my son needed almond milk, so we heated up his almond milk and he did his. So it would be nice to make them dairy free and just heat up the different types of milk in the microwave. Okay, so as you can see, we're combined. And what you will do at home is leave this sit for about 20 minutes. And it starts to set enough that you can take a cookie scoop, or we just used an ice cream scooper. You could just use a big spoon. And then you'll scoop it out into your silicone mini muffin pan. So I'm going to set that aside. And then after you scoop them out, you'll top them immediately with the crushed candies. As you can see, you sprinkle them with the crushed candies. And then what you'll do is wait. You have to wait another like 20 minutes before you can put the sticks in. So you need to let them continue to set for a little bit before the sticks will stay upright. And then after that, you will put them either in the refrigerator for 4 hours or the freezer for 2 hours, and then they're ready to go. And because these are a dairy product, it is cooked, but I would recommend storing them in the refrigerator just to be sure that they stay good. So I have some milk staying hot in my mug here. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in here. And then we'll see if we can get a wrapper off. And see, if you see, they're just, it's pretty soft, so it doesn't come off. And these were even in the freezer. So you do need the silicone ones, but if you're giving them to somebody, but if you're like my house and it's like, well, it's chocolate, so I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to eat the chocolate. I don't care if I have to dip an aluminum wrapper in a mug of chocolate, then this works fine too. Okay, so we're just going to push our mix, our little hot chocolate on a stick down in here. And I did get this recipe from what I told you was my new favorite app on my phone, and that's the Tasty app. They show you how to do everything, so it's really nice. You can use popsicle sticks for this, or you can also use the craft sticks that look like tongue depressors. Just make sure they're food safe. And then I just cut them in half, and I felt like that worked really well too, because it wasn't like a big stick, but the big stick could also be convenient for stirring. So whatever you have, we're just going to stir this up. And this is a big mug of hot milk, so it's not getting quite as chocolatey as we would want it to be in my house. We'd probably use 2 in this mug. Okay, so we're fully combined. And then you can just top it with some whipped topping and some more peppermint candies. And there is your peppermint hot chocolate on a stick. So that's a fun one to do, and an easy one for the kids to help with. Okay, so moving on to our next recipe. It's always good when you have company in the house, which holiday time is usually time for company, to have snacks out before the meal so that everybody has something to snack on before dinner's ready. So I found this recipe for an appetizer that I thought sounded really good. This is a cranberry pecan cheese ball. So you're going to start with 8 ounces of cream cheese softened. And we're going to add about 1.5 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese to that. And I like to use they call it the fancy cut, because it's smaller and easier to combine. And then about 1/3 cup of dried cranberries. So that's about a little handful. And then about 1/2 cup of chopped green onion. Just gonna pour all that in there. And then about 1/3 cup of chopped pecans. And I'm just adding 1 bag. This is 1/2 cup, because I feel like that's enough. And then we're just going to work at this to combine it to get everything all mixed together. Now this is one that unfortunately you can't use your mixer because of the nuts and the cranberries and everything, so you just got to work at this one. Make sure your cream cheese is nice and soft, that's all. You'll get it all combined. This is a good one for Thanksgiving or at Christmas time. I think that these flavors really complement each other nicely. You have the sweetness of the cranberries and the bitterness of the onion, the crunchiness of the pecans, and then of course the cheese. So this is just a really nice flavor combination. And then when you serve this, you can serve this with whatever type of crackers that you like. I think it would also be good perhaps with pretzel sticks. You gotta get your mom muscles working for this one. All right, so I'm just we're at the point now where just need to get your hands in there and we're gonna form it into a ball. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and open my other bags of pecan pieces. And I just have a piece of wax paper out. If this were your counter at home, you could probably just lay it out right on the counter. Because once the ball is formed, we're going to roll it into the pecan pieces. All right, so let's get our hands in here. It's funny, some people it seems like you're either one type of cook or another. You're either like a hands-on, like you like to have your hands in the dough, or don't mind touching raw meats or whatever, or you want to have your hands on the cooking, or you're one that's like wearing gloves and wanting to just use utensils and spoons and everything. All right, so we'll just form this into a nice ball. As you can see, everything's really well combined. And then we will go ahead and roll it in the pecans. You just gotta press them down in there. And if you don't have enough pecans, you can always just do the top half of the ball. You can leave the bottom without any. All right, I think we are pretty well covered. So mine's more like a cheese dome, which will sit better on the platter anyway, right? Okay. So there we go. Then just find a pretty platter to sit it on. And it's nice sometimes to serve cheese balls with a cracker that is a little bit thicker and harder and won't break, so that people can just dip the cracker right in. But honestly, if you serve it with a cheese knife or a regular knife, then people can put it on their plate or just spread it in. So there we are. So it's really nice around the holidays to have a special little quick something to serve to your guests or your children, something fun and quick that doesn't take a long time, that after your kids come in from playing out in the snow, or after your husband comes in from shoveling the driveway, you can have a little treat for him with these peppermint hot chocolates on a stick. And then whenever you are going to a gathering and you want to bring something, or if you are entertaining company in your own home, I think that this cranberry pecan cheese ball makes a really nice, quick and easy appetizer to whip up for your guests. So I hope you enjoy trying these recipes, and I hope you enjoy your holidays. Happy holidays. And until next time, we'll see you at the market.